Hi, welcome back to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. Guess who's here? Miss Marcia. And she's going to talk to us about mindfulness.
Hi, thank you for inviting me, Miss Annette. I'm glad to be here.
It's so much fun. I wanted to ask you some questions, and then I think Miss Marcia will show us some mindfulness activities. But let's find out what mindfulness is first, all right? What is it? What is mindfulness?
Good question, Miss Annette. It seems so simple. Mindfulness is basically paying attention to what's happening right now, paying attention to what's happening around you, and paying attention to what's happening inside of you. That's pretty much it.
Wow. See, I thought mindfulness was a lot like yoga, but it isn't, is it?
Well, you can mix yoga with mindfulness, but if you do yoga and you pay attention to what's happening while you're doing yoga, then you're doing mindfulness.
Oh, wow. Now, why is mindfulness so important?
Mindfulness is important because we need a way to calm ourselves down. We need a way to focus when that's necessary, especially for you kiddos in school. Sometimes you get distracted during the day. You're thinking about lunch, you're thinking about recess, but you're in math. So mindfulness really helps you to bring yourself into the present moment when you're doing math in order to really focus and do well at that particular activity.
Maybe I should have used some mindfulness during my math sessions. Oh, dear. So, does it take a lot of time to be mindful or do mindfulness?
Another good question. Mindfulness can be done anytime, anywhere, and it's just so easy once you get into the habit of paying attention. You can do mindfulness while you're brushing your teeth. How about that?
Wow.
Okay? Just paying attention to how you're holding the toothbrush as you're brushing your teeth, paying attention to how it feels in your mouth, how the toothpaste tastes in your mouth. So just being present with whatever it is that you're doing.
Well, that's amazing. I have a hard time sitting still. What about people like me that I'm always busy and always doing something?
Well, it's very good for you. It's good for people who want to just kind of wind down a little bit. You just take some time, and you don't have to sit in a cross-legged posture, and you don't have to sit up straight all the time. You can just sit comfortably and just take 3 deep breaths. And that is doing mindfulness. That is doing a lot to help you to calm down from a very busy lifestyle.
See, can you use music when you're... Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's great.
Yes.
How do we know if mindfulness is working?
Another great question. A lot of people think, oh, I can't do it because I'm not sitting here still all the time and I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing. But mindfulness is just a practice. It's something that you need to practice every day. And I suggest to people to start with 20 seconds of mindfulness.
That's not very long.
No. So that you don't feel like, oh, if I have to sit here for an hour, there's no way. Well, for most people, there is no way that they can sit there. Only the yogis and those folks can do that. But if you just set your time for 20 seconds and say, for the next 20 seconds, I'm just going to sit here and focus on my breath, you're doing mindfulness.
Wow, that's amazing. Miss Marcia, will you show us some mindfulness exercises?
I would love to.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. All right. The first one I want to show you is using the breathing ball. And it has another more scientific name to this, but I call it the breathing ball. And the reason I want to talk about the breathing ball is because the breath is very important in mindfulness. What the breath does in mindfulness is it acts as an anchor. And as we all know, if any of you have seen boats or have a boat, ever been on a boat, that the captain will drop an anchor into the water to keep the boat from drifting too far from that particular place. Well, in mindfulness, the breath serves the same purpose. As we focus on the breath, it keeps our mind from drifting off. So we're going to work with the breathing ball today, and I'm going to ask you to put one hand on your belly and the other hand over your heart. Okay? And the reason I want you to do that is so that you can feel your breath going in and out of your body. So it's either going to go in and out from your chest, or you can feel it going in and out from your belly.
Oh.
Okay? So we're going to practice.
Okay.
All right? So when I do the ball like this, you're going to take a deep breath in. And as you take that breath in, you should feel your belly expanding just like this ball.
Okay.
Okay? And then when I close it like this, then you will exhale and you should feel your belly going back in.
Okay.
Okay? So let's try it. And you at home, you can try this as well. You can place your hands just like Miss Annette. And as I am expanding the ball, you take a breath in and then out. You can breathe in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. You can breathe in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. So let's just do that 5 more times and concentrate on your breathing. One more time, let's breathe in and hold it and out.
Wow. I was really focusing on trying to remember to breathe in when the ball opened. It really just was mindful of what was happening
Yes.
between my body and the ball.
And the ball, right.
Wow. How about you?
I hope you were able to do that. Okay.
Me too.
So, the next thing I want to show you is kind of a hearing exercise. This is called the mindfulness bell, and I'm just going to hit it for you so that you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so isn't that lovely?
Oh, it was
Isn't it?
beautiful. And the
Yes.
bowl is beautiful too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So, what I'd like for us to do is to focus on the sound of the bell when I hit it, okay? And I want you to just listen as intently and as focused as you can until you cannot hear the bell anymore. When you can't hear the bell anymore, just raise your hand.
Okay.
So the focus is listening until you can't hear the bell and then raising your hand. And you can do this at home as well. All right, here we go. How about that?
How about that?
Okay, so we were just focused on the sound of the bell. Now, I'd like to try another experiment. This time, I'd like for you to close your eyes when I hit the bell. And the reason that we ask you in mindfulness oftentimes to close your eyes is that if you kind of eliminate one of those areas of focus, your sight, then you can better focus on what we're asking you to focus on, which is your hearing.
Amazing. All right.
So let's see how that works.
Okay.
So you're going to close your eyes and you're going to listen in the same way that you did before, and then when you can't hear the bell anymore, just raise your hand. Here we go.
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
That was fantastic.
I love this bell, and so I use that a lot, even just when I'm by myself. I'll just ring the bell and just kind of allow that sound to just bathe my ears so that it just feels so good to me.
I like the bell and the breathing ball. Those are really nice things to have. Now, is there an activity that you could do if you don't have a bell or a ball?
Absolutely. Okay. Let's do an activity that I like to call the five senses activity.
Okay.
And this is the perfect environment for us to do that here on the
little
farm.
farm.
Yes. Okay, so we know that the five senses are seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and feeling. Okay, we're going to start with feeling. And so I'd like for you to get into a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you. And we happen to be out here, outside, on the farm, but wherever you are, you may be at home, you can do this in the classroom, you can do this at the park, you can really do this anywhere. So that's where you don't need any other instruments to do this.
How about that?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is concentrate on the first sense of feeling. And so I'd like for you to just focus right now on how your face feels. How does your face feel? Can you feel a breeze on your face? Does your face feel warm? Does it feel cool? Does it feel tingly? Focus on how your toes feel. Wiggle them and just kind of see how your toes are feeling. And then your hands. Focus on your hands. How do your hands feel? Do they feel loose or tight? And everything that we're feeling, everything that we're experimenting with today is without judgment. We're not saying it's good or it's bad. We're just feeling or sensing what it is. That's another part of mindfulness. Not judging anything, but just accepting the way things are. Okay? Let's move now to our sense of sight. And what I'd like for you to do is just kind of look around your environment and see if you can notice anything that you have never noticed before. Now that's easy for me because this is my first time on the farm. So I can look around and just about everything I see is something new to me. But what I'm focusing on right now is this plant. Is this an aloe plant, Miss Annette?
I think it's some sort of an aloe. I'm not sure what kind.
And I'm also focusing on a chicken out there.
That's what I was focused on.
Okay.
One of the chickens is loose.
There's so many things to focus on around here. It's just, it's a beautiful place. It's just beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's move now from our sense of sight. Let's move to our sense of hearing. Okay. So just kind of sit for a moment and see what we can hear. I think I'm hearing a wind chime. I hear a bird, a few birds. I hear the chicken rustling in the leaves over here. So many different things to hear. So just try to pick out something that you have not heard before, not noticed before. Okay, now let's move to our sense of smell. What do you notice? I think I'm smelling some very earthy type things, some just the earth. A clean freshness in the air I'm smelling. It smells good out here. It smells very good.
And sometimes it doesn't.
I would imagine with some of the animals. So what do you notice? What do you notice that you are smelling right now? Any new smells? Anything familiar that you smell that you like? When I think of smells that I would like to smell again would be one of my mother's pies in the oven.
Yeah, I have my mother breakfast. When she makes breakfast, she makes tortillas and beans and oh, so good.
It smells so good. Yes. So think about your favorite smell. That's another thing. To just think about that. And now the last thing we want to focus on is our sense of taste. Now, you may not have tasted anything recently, so think about the last thing that you ate. Maybe that taste may still be lingering in your mouth. That's possible. I had a mint before I came here, and I can still kind of taste a little bit of that mint in my mouth. If you have a snack nearby, you can take a bite of something and then just kind of notice the taste of your snack. How does it taste? Does it taste sweet or sour or bitter?
I'm thinking of hot tamales, the little hot tamale candy. It's my favorite.
Ah, okay.
Sometimes I sneak one or two of those. That's the taste I'm thinking of.
All right, okay.
It's spicy.
Good, good. So this is the 5 senses exercise that you can do anywhere. One of the things that I like to tell our kids is when you're riding home on the bus, you probably take the same route every day, and you probably don't even notice the things outside the window. So I would just challenge you or offer an invitation to you the next time you're on the bus or the next time you're in a car to really notice something different. Even if you've taken this route a million times, see if you can find something different on your route. So that is our, I hear, what's the name of this chicken?
Oh, this one is Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. She's wanting some attention over here.
She wants some worms.
Some worms?
Would you feed her some worms, Miss Marsha?
I would.
Really?
Sure.
Okay,
yes,
great.
I'd love to. So that's our 5 senses exercise for mindfulness. So I hope that was helpful to you. I just love mindfulness. I love what it does for me. I got into mindfulness because I had a serious illness when I was in graduate school. I lost the hearing in my ear and couldn't figure out what it was. And I went to the best doctors and they did all these tests, and it turned out that it was stress. So I had to find a way to release my stress. So I started doing mindfulness. I became a yoga instructor and all of that. Then this was, I don't know, 35 years ago, but this has served me well over time.
That's wonderful.
So mindfulness has really helped me.
And you teach mindfulness at school?
Yes, I do. I do. And in private homes, if people want me to come to their homes and do mindfulness instruction, I do that as well.
And Miss Marsha has a YouTube channel, so I will link that in my description down below.
All right, thank you. All right,
Thank you, Miss Marsha. Thank you so much. And thank you for visiting Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. Make sure you get outside today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.